Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Stanhope Elmore football here at 17 Springs for the second ever game at this beautiful stadium. Last week, Stanhope had a monster win, 40-0 over Percy Julian, to get a nice start to region play. Able to talk to DeAndre Washington this week, and he thinks his team is going to walk out of here with the win. Also said at halftime he's going to return that opening kick for the second half. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to be right here waiting for kickoff where the Mustangs have won and deferred for the second half. And, of course, this is, if you look at last year when these two teams met, 31-12 win for the Mustangs. Of course, that game also in a stadium similar to this one. Last year played in the Crampton Bowl. Now, new era, new stadium for the Mustangs right here in 17 Springs. As we get ready for kickoff, the Mustangs are going to be on defense first. All right, as the Mustangs get ready to kick off. And we are underway. Grayson Jones kicks it down. It bounces forward. Mustangs might get a chance to return it. And that's Mustang football. JoJo Griffin able to pick up the ball. I don't know what's gotten into Grayson Jones. He has become a mastermind when it comes to kicking the ball and having it bounce back. So instead of starting on defense, the Mustangs are going to start on offense on this drive. And of course, last game for the Mustangs, Demarion Barnes able to have himself a day, 150 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns. We open it up. Davis Foshee and D. Barnes alone in the backfield. Of course, last time the Mustangs started on a field like this, D. Barnes took it one play and got one touchdown and might get it again, but gets tackled down at around the 10-yard line. That'll be first and goal for the Mustangs. Gradually to call him down at the 12-yard line. So first and 10 from the 12. Another handoff to D. Barnes. Taking it back up the middle. And getting pushed forward, but this time only for a 2-yard gain. All right, 2nd and 8 here for the Mustangs. Back-to-back D. Barnes runs. Another handoff to Barnes. Stiff arms and reaches forward. Not a touchdown. And so close to being a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Third and 1 here for the Mustangs on the 3-yard line. Power formation as Jacob Tharp and Dominic Sager step in as the H-backs. Hand off to D. Barnes. And fights forward for the first touchdown of the game. When the Mustangs go in that power formation, it is so hard to stop D. Barnes. All right. Grayson Jones is back out there to kick off. Mustangs found a way to get the ball on the first drive of the game off the kickoff. Maybe Grayson Jones can rekindle some magic here. As Park Crossing has some miscommunication there. But get a nice little return out of it. Get some downs. They're going to start off their first drive of the game on the 34-yard line. And, of course, this Mustang defense last game had themselves a day, giving Percy Julian everything and more. Jay Stone getting himself a pick, and also joining up with Dominic Sager to get a safety for the first point scored here at 17 Springs. First and 10 here. A lot of movement going on in the Park Crossing backfield. Man in motion. Little, I don't even know what to call that. Halfback pass, toss, whatever that was. Doesn't go far. The ref moving up a yard. Going to give him 3 on the play. It's going to be second down and 7. To highlight from this Stanhope Elmore defense, Coach Adams prides himself on having a tenacious defense. We have a fumble on the snap. And Jacob Tharp getting the TFL. And letting Park Crossing hear it. Jacob Tharp making a little bit of a move around, going from linebacker to more of an edge rusher, trying to rekindle what Stanhope had last year with Cam Anderson, now with the Delta State Valley. Sorry, not Delta State Valley, just Delta State. Third and very long pass here for Park Crossing. Able to make a little bit of a play there, pushed down after the first down marker by DeAndre Washington. Going to be first and 10 for the Thunderbirds here at the 46-yard line. Right now on that D-line. Tharp at the edge rusher. D-end, you got Jacorian Smoke. And, of course, rounding out the interior D-line is, of course, Dominic Sager and big Dalen Nixon. First year for the Thunderbirds. They do a little speed option. Quarterback jukes inside and gets thrown down by Jesse Christensen. Be second down and 8. As Tay Lewis hops on the field, replacing Jacorian Smoke. And the secondary, of course, being another position group to definitely need some highlighting. A lot of leaders in this defense are in that back of the defense. Second and 8. Oh. And Jay Stone almost grabs himself another interception, but not able to get his hands under it in time. Mustangs got pressure there. Third down and 8. So yeah, Jay Stone just one of many leaders in the secondary. Of course, Zach Goodson, the junior, currently leading the team in tackles. Of course, DeAndre Washington, the sophomore, one of the most athletic players on this team. Rolling out for the pass. And tipped up by Jay Stone and almost picked off there by Demarion Thomas. So after giving up the big third down play, Mustangs able to stop the Thunderbirds. And I'm going to assume here, punt formation coming out in the field. Zach Holcomb, the leading receiver, going back to the 20. The Park Crossing, look at the punt. Almost gets blocked. The ball's going to bounce backwards That's going to be Mustang football at the 20. It's at the 28-yard line. And the Mustangs will take over for their second drive of the game. Of course, D. Barnes not the only running back to highlight this backfield. This offense has a stable. Of course, you're going to see a lot of D. Barnes, but if the Mustangs need to give him a breather, they got Ja'Cory Thompson and freshman Jordan Steele to take over if need be. Trey Smith goes into motion there. Going to hand it off to D. Barnes. Going to cut around the left side. Got some open space. Jukes back, trying to avoid the safety. That's going to be another big run from D. Barnes. So I think get him down at the 45-yard line. Also can't help but highlighting these uniforms that the Mustangs are wearing. All grays. A nice look for the Mustangs. They're going to pass the ball. Davis Foshee looking back. Finds Zach Holcomb. So he's able to get about 12 on the play. Actually 13 yards on the play. Mustangs got some momentum, especially after that first kickoff. And a timeout on the play. First and 10 after the Park Crossing timeout. Mustangs just got done getting a nice 13-yard gain on the pass to Zach Holcomb. Getting the leading receiver here for the Mustangs a year after being the Mustangs' leading passer. A little bit of confusion here from Park Crossing sideline. So as we get ready to start play here. Hard count there for Davis Foshee. Hands it off on the running back draw. And D. Barnes runs through a man. And that's going to be another first down for D. Barnes. First and 10 for the Mustangs here on the 31-yard line. And you got to love the offense here for the Mustangs. A lot of momentum in their favor. And back-to-back games. We have an O-lineman in motion here. There's going to be a flag on the play. It's going to be offsides. On Park Crossing. It's going to make a first down and 5. First and 5 here for the Mustangs after another D. Barnes run. Another handoff to D, takes it around the right side. Makes a couple of guys fall over. I can't say miss, but definitely ran through them. And it's going to be ruled a first down, but there's a flag on the play. They're going to signal for the first down, but maybe not. That's going to be a holding on Stanhope. Going to push him back. Get an offsides call, make it 1st and 5, then a holding call to make it 1st and 15. .454 left to go in this first quarter. We had another timeout on the play. First and 15 after the timeout. And D. Barnes able to spin out of a tackle. Seven-yard gain there on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Which math does not really add up there. 6-yard gain. 2nd and 9. So far, a little bit of D. Barnes action here for the Mustangs. 2nd and 9. Another pass play. Screen pass to Zach Holcomb. Goes backwards to make a man miss, but not able to stop the flock of Thunderbirds. They're going to cause a loss of 2 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 11. So passing down here on 3rd and 11. Davis Foshee and D. Barnes alone in the backfield. Dropping back, trying to run around the Thunderbirds defense, throwing the ball down the field. And that ball is picked off by the Thunderbirds. And that's going to go the distance unless D. Barnes can make a play, but nope. That's a pick 6 for the Thunderbirds to tie this game up or keep a PAT away from tying it up. But Davis Foshee a little slow to get up on that play. A little bit of confusion going on, trying to figure out what exactly happened because no touchdown has been put down on the scoreboard yet. Stanhope's offense still out on the field. Roughing the passer called on 3rd and long, so that negates the pick six and actually gives the Mustangs a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs here. Thought it was a little worse for wear. 3rd and long. And a pass goes the other way, all the way to the end zone. And hoping that wasn't a limp I saw from Davis Hoshi, but he did take a while to get up from that tackle. As D. Barnes going to take advantage and runs a man over to get in the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. And Davis Foshi limping off the field. So good for the Mustangs to take advantage of getting the ball back in their favor. Opportunity here to go up 14-0. Espy's kick is up, and that is good. As the Stanhope Elmore flag runners go around the end zone with a backwards S. So a good drive turned wrong, turned great for the Mustangs. So back up for another kickoff here for the Mustangs. Grayson Jones back up. And Grayson's kickoff gets muffed and picked back up at the 11-yard line. JoJo Griffin, the first Mustang to get him, and pulls him down to the ground. Be 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds. Trying to figure out exactly where the down marker is because the ref was marking it down not where. Be 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds on the 22-yard line. 2:52 left to go in this first quarter. Mustangs already up by 2 touchdowns. And of course, hoping Davis Foshi able to get back into this game. As the Thunderbirds, a little play action. Right back going to take it. Quarterback going to take it and takes a massive hit. That's Zach Goodson. And DeAndre Washington, who actually be the backup quarterback if need be. So 1st and 10 after the quarterback run. High snap, another play action pass. Quarterback going to take it again. Jesse Christensen and Jay Stone not going to let him get another first down on that one. 2nd and 9. $1:54 left to go in this first quarter and counting. 2nd and 9 for the Thunderbirds. And Mustangs look like they're going to be bringing a blitz here. Another quarterback keeper. And another big hit laid there by the Mustangs, and a flag comes flying in. after what would be a 5-yard game, but we're going to hold on and see what this flag is. Personal foul, face mask on the Mustangs. That's going to make it 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds yet again. It's 1st and 10 after the personal foul. And a little trickeration here. Mustangs seem to be ready for another 1-yard gain for the Thunderbirds. Second and 8 here after the trick play. Mustangs looking blitz again. A pre-snap penalty. Might go against the Thunderbirds because a late man ran off the field. So legal substitution there on the offense. So 2nd and 8 becomes 2nd and 13. So 36 seconds to go in this first quarter. 2nd and 13. A little bit of a mixed bag of a drive here. Thunderbirds have been moving the ball pretty well, but the Mustangs defense not making it easy for them. No pressure being shown here. Could be a halfback swing pass, and it is. And Jacob Tharp able to grab him. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 10 here for the Thunderbirds. And with the clock ticking down, might send us here to the second quarter. Three, 2, and 1. So that's going to send us to the second quarter. When we come back, Mustangs are going to try to hold the Thunderbirds from getting any points on this drive. You're listening to the Stanhope Elmore Sports Network. All right, we're back for the second quarter of play. 3rd and 10. Thunderbirds, a little PA rollout the other way. Finds a Thunderbird. Interesting to see where they're going to mark him. That's going to be 4th down and 2. Oh, now they've been moving this drive. They're going to keep the offense out. Mustangs making some substitutions. Taking Tay Lewis out, and Coach Adams is going to call the timeout there. So big 4th down here when we get back from the timeout. All right, 4th and 2 here. In a trio of running backs back there. And it's going to be close. But looks like the refs are going to give it to him, which I don't know if I fully agree with that placement of the football. But 1st down nonetheless. New set of downs here for the Thunderbirds. On a drive that has taken up a good chunk of clock. First and 10 here, another handoff. Correction. Quarterback keeper. And that's Jacob Tharp making a big tackle. But I think it's going to cost the Mustangs some yards. If I had to assume here, they're going to call horse collar here on Jacob Tharp. As the refs dispute what the call's going to be. Actually, holding on the Thunderbirds. That penalty is going to be accepted. So what I thought was going to be a penalty actually turns on the Mustangs, turns into a penalty on the Thunderbirds. Going to make it 1st down and 20. First and 20 for the Thunderbirds. Blitz being shown by the Mustangs. Men in motion for the Thunderbirds. Screen pass. And Jesse Christensen there yet again. Big gain of a few. It's going to be 2nd down and about 16 or 17. It's a 2nd and 17 here. Thunderbirds have actually been moving the ball pretty well on this drive. But been a lot of back and forth here. So pistol formation yet again for the Thunderbirds. Another speed option. But the Mustangs ready for it. And that's going to be a herd of Mustangs led by Jay Stone. Forcing it to 3rd and very long. As Jacorian Smoke hops in for, looks like Dalen Nixon. And Lennon Woodruff hops out for Caleb Wood and Purnell. On another big 3rd down. Last time the Thunderbirds were in this situation, they got it. Quarterback drops back. A lot of pressure going on. Ball is tipped. and waiting to see what the call is from the refs, but that might be a pick. And it is. DeAndre Washington getting his first interception of the season and celebrating with the coaches. And ironically enough, during my interview with DeAndre Washington, I made a comment about Jay Stone getting his interception and asking when his was going to be. And confidence raining out of that sophomore. He said it was going to be this game. And it was like Davis Foshi not able to go back for this drive. So right after getting the interception, DeAndre Washington back out on the field at quarterback. Definition of a do-it-all. Hands off to D. Barnes. Makes a lot of us Thunderbirds miss. And he's going to get about 12, I'm going to say 13 yards on the play. Another big run here. Another handoff to D. Barnes. And he's going to fight his way up for about 7 yards. Second down and 3 here for the Mustangs. DeAndre Washington still there in quarterback. Another handoff to D. Barnes. And it looks, honestly, so athletic. It looks like he's jogging out there, and he's going to go the distance almost. Actually gets hit, and they're going to knock him down at the 9-yard line, where they're going to call that. And D. Barnes on that run looks like he could have gone a lot faster than he was. Look, he was just taking a breather on what was almost, good Lord, a 50-yard run. And looks like D. Barnes is going to get himself a little bit of a breather here. Ja'Cory Thompson hops in at running back. You got to watch out here for a DeAndre Washington keeper, and you're going to see it right there. Trying to go outside. That'll be a DeAndre Washington touchdown, barring the penalty. Offense still out there in the field. That's going to be holding on the Mustangs. So first and goal on the 19-yard line. And I know DeAndre Washington not very happy about that call. Not the first time this season he's had a touchdown get called back for a holding penalty. First time was against Marbury on a kickoff return. So there's no DeAndre. I know he is seething for that first touchdown of the season. Handed off this time to Ja'Cory Thompson. Bouncing around. And that's going to be back for a loss on the play. And something that's very hard to do as a running back. You know, you're trying to fight for those extra yards, but once you get pushed back once, it's hard to just stop and fall over. So forward progress works against him there. It's going to be second down and 19. Second and goal from the 19. D. Barnes hides back on the field. think a little bit of confusion on the play there between the quarterback and the running back. So it looks like DeAndre Washington just kind of took a knee there on the play. So now 3rd and goal from the 24-yard line. Looks like another timeout here. All right, 3rd and goal here from the 24-yard line. After another handoff, it's going to be keeper by DeAndre Washington. And he's going to run all the way up, and they're going to give him the touchdown on that play. What a run by DeAndre Washington. On a drive that started because of the interception by DeAndre, ends with a DeAndre touchdown. Again, big play Dre. That's one of those elements that you can get with DeAndre Washington at quarterback. Now, Davis Foshee, more of the power runner out of the two. He's going to lay the boom on someone, but DeAndre Washington, a lot harder to tackle and gets his way. And SB's kick goes no good. So it's going to be 20-0 lead here for the Mustangs. 5:37 left to go in this first half. So a big drive there, led by the ground game. A big run by D. Barnes. Got it in 1st and goal. A couple of negative plays made it 3rd and goal from the 19. And DeAndre Washington making a big play there. As Grayson Jones kicks it back, gets caught at the 10-yard line by number 10 on Park Crossing. He's going to get a nice little return before JoJo Griffin and Ja'Cory Thompson get the tackle. So it's going to start this drive off at the 35-yard line. And a nice sight to see Davis Foshee warming back up. So 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds here. Down 20-0. 5.5 minutes left to go in this first half. Thunderbirds are having a nice little drive on their last time out here. As Dalen Nixon able to eat the running back up for a loss of 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 13. Correction, 2nd down and 12. As I was saying, a nice little drive the Thunderbirds were having until the errant interception. So 2nd down and 12 here for the Thunderbirds. Trips to the left. It's going to be another handoff here. Jacob Tharp almost got there right away, but Zach Goodson able to drag the running back. Looked like he's dragging him forward. So that's going to be 3rd down and about 7. First 3rd down and 6. Their big 3rd down here. Last time the Thunderbirds were held to 3rd down was that interception. Mustangs showing pressure. And Jesse Christensen throwing the receiver down. Only gained 2 yards on the play. It's going to be 4th down and 4. And both teams send their punt team out there. So 4th and 4, Zach Holcomb back to return. Punt gets off. Almost punt by Brian Daniel. Almost muffed, but all returned by Zach Holcomb. Got the ball to the 20-yard line. Yeah, lucky break there for the Mustangs. 3:13 left to go in this first half. As stand-up offense goes back on the field. 80 yards between them and another touchdown. As DeAndre Washington heads out for his 2nd drive. As the trainer's still talking to Foshi on the sideline. Something to scheme for here for the Thunderbirds. DeAndre Washington is a lefty. Oh, and D. Barnes grabbed by the neck for that tackle. So 2nd down and 10 after the no gain there for D. Barnes, a rarity. So 2nd and 10. All 3 wide receivers out on the left side. 2nd and 10. Hand off to D. Barnes. Only able to get about a yard on this one. It's going to be 3rd and 9. So as it is in most situations, when you miss your starting quarterback, try to get a little more vanilla with your offense. Just kind of stick into the run game. So 3rd and 9. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper, but the turf monster takes DeAndre Washington down. It's going to be 4th down and 12 as the punt team comes out. First drive of the game for the Mustangs that did not end in points. Always a scary moment when you see a quarterback go down like that on the turf. Grayson Jones' punt almost blocked. It might have been muffed by the Thunderbirds, but they're not going to say so. The Thunderbirds are going to take over here. Well, we got one ref saying it's Mustangs ball, another ref saying it's the Thunderbirds ball. Yeah, change on the call there. So Mustangs going to get the ball right back. And something Grayson Jones has been very good at this season is kicking the ball to where the Mustangs can return it in their favor. So DeAndre Washington heads back out after what was a 3-and-out. Shotgun formation here for the Mustangs. DeAndre Washington dropped back the pass and gets a little short. And a penalty on the play. That's going to be pass interference there on the Thunderbirds. Going to give another first down to the Mustangs. Another Mustangs first down. Which back-to-back first downs off of Thunderbirds' mistakes, a muffed punt and a PI. Hand off to D. Barnes. And he gets dragged down. I'm a little shocked by where the ball got placed because it looked like D. Barnes was actually getting pushed backwards, and that's where they called that at. Second down and 16 here. And a drive that should send us to halftime here. 45 seconds left to go in this first half. DeAndre Washington able to make a play with it. And it's getting pushed forward. The pile is driving. DeAndre not going down. And gets his helmet thrown off in the process. And flags are flying. What a run by DeAndre Washington, refusing to hit the turf on the play until he got well into the red zone. But there's about 3 yellow markers on the field. Down markers haven't moved. Great heads-up play there by DeAndre Washington, though. Snap went a little bit to the right, able to grab it. And before he could give it to D. Barnes, he was able to take it and get all the way up to the red zone. It's going to be a face mask on the Thunderbirds. That's going to be assessed at the end of the play. So getting the Mustangs in the red zone, gets his helmet yanked off and turns it into 1st and goal. And a timeout there called by the Mustangs. 21 seconds left to go in this first half. We'll be right back after this timeout. First and goal here for the Mustangs after the face mask call gets them inside the 10. DeAndre Washington takes a snap. And hand off to D. Barnes, who's going to scoot his way to the end zone again for his 3rd touchdown of the day. So we get 26-0 here. 13 seconds left to go in the first half. As Horses begins to play over the intercom. And Espy in for the kickoff. Espy's kick is up. And that one is good. 27-0 here. Mustangs got the lead. I want to say my fun fact, but I know for a fact if I say it, I get a commentator curse. But Mustangs currently pitching a shutout. So Grayson Jones back out there for the kickoff. Worth noting, when I interviewed DeAndre Washington earlier today, he said after the half he's going to return to the opening kickoff for a touchdown. So stay tuned for that after the bands play. So Grayson Jones back out there for the kick. Usually can make some magic here happen, and we can get a 30-0 lead going into halftime. But that ball is going to sail. Picked up at the 3, which a bold maneuver of sorts. But a pretty decent return there. So Mustangs defense is going to head out there with 5 seconds left to go in this first half. Thunderbirds will get at least a play out. As the kickoff team runs off. Be 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds on the 24-yard line. Mustangs still making some substitutions out there on the field. Got a man very deep just in case the Hail Mary gets thrown. And the Thunderbirds just take the knee and take this game into half. Mustangs up 27-0. We'll be right back for the second half of play, and you're listening to the Stanhope Elmore Sports Network. And we are back for the second half of play. Sorry, I missed a couple of plays there. Trying to get everything sorted out up here in the press box. First down goes backwards. But D. Barnes, again, fighting forward. And it looks like he gets thrown down for the first down. What a run there by the junior. He's been having himself a season thus far. First and 10 for the Mustangs after the big run by D. Barnes. Another one by D. Barnes. Fumbles the ball. And that's going to be Thunderbird football. The Thunderbirds take over after the fumble by D. Barnes. Thunderbirds dropping back to pass. And miscommunication there by the quarterback and the wide receiver. So 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. And that run goes nowhere. The Mustangs there pushing him back, but that's only going to be a 2-yard loss on the play. Passing down here, 3rd and long. And that ball hits the turf. It's going to be 4th and 12. Fourth and 12 here as the Thunderbirds get ready to punt the ball back to the Mustangs. Looking to be a nice little redo after the fumble on the play. That ball hits the 30 and dies. But it's still going to find some life as it rolls back for the 25-yard line. Where the Mustangs are going to take over up by 27. Got 9:35 left to go in this third quarter. And DeAndre Washington going back out there. Seems to be that you might not see Davis Foshee for the rest of the game. Keeping him healthy. Got a bye week next week for the Mustangs before Smith Station comes to town. And DeAndre Washington, keeper. Jukes outside, is going to take the outside, gets back inside. And so they're going to roll him on a 9-yard, maybe 10-yard gain. They give him 10 yards on that play exactly. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. Hand off there to D. Barnes. And D. Barnes makes a big play, and that might be, and it will be. It's either a touchdown or that's down at the inch line. Regardless, though, that's a penalty on the Thunderbirds. That's going to be a horse collar on the Thunderbirds. So first and goal on the 1 yard line. Mustangs looking to add to their lead here. He had a couple of things he can do here. You know, D. Barnes go in and walk in for his 4th touchdown of the game, or DeAndre Washington can keep it and waltz in for the end zone. That'll be the D. Barnes touchdown. Touchdown number 4 of the day for the Marion Barnes. And that'll be the 13th touchdown of the season for D. Barnes. Of course, D. Barnes came into this game 20th in the state of Alabama in rushing yards, tied for 1st in the state in touchdowns, and adding to that as the kick gets blocked. Yeah. Fun to note. Yeah, 20th in rushing yards in the state of Alabama, 1st in the state in touchdowns, and of course 1st in the region in 6A Region 2. So Grayson Jones back out there to kick the ball off. Mustangs up 33-0 with 7:36 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Ball bounces past the return man, able to pick it up at the 2-yard line. Oh, Jesse Christensen forces the ball out. And it looks like they're not going to call it a fumble, so Park Crossing takes over. Jesse Christensen laying the absolute boom on that tackle. Assisted by Zach Goodson. Got some new guys on the field for the Mustangs. Got A.J. Allen taking it for Dalen Nixon right there in the interior D-line, and Brian Daniel took it over for DeAndre Washington, giving him a little bit of a breather. Worth noting, also helping out with Jesse Christensen on that tackle was Zach Goodson, who currently leads the team in tackles. coming to this game with 39. New QB in for the Thunderbirds. New quarterback. Same Mustangs, able to stop the run and only gain a 1 on the play. So 2nd and 9. Mustangs look like they're bringing the heat on this play. Speed option. Original quarterback came in, and Jesse Christensen yet again. Not a man for a form tackle, but definitely one for a body slam. As Zachorian Smoke checks out of the game, and in walks Xavier Adkins, the junior who's worked his way up the depth chart over spring and fall camps and practices. Third and 5 here for the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds looking to pass. Dominic Sager almost getting himself a sack, but not before the Thunderbirds able to get the first down on the play. There's a timeout. All right, 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds after completing a pass. Screen pass here. A solid gain in there for the Thunderbirds. It's going to be an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2. Second and 2 here for the Thunderbirds. Another quick pass. Thunderbirds might have found a little bit of their bread and butter here. These quick passes, getting some quick and easy yards. Almost picked off there by Jesse Christensen. That's going to be some up downs for him after the game. That's something he's probably going to be thinking about. Again, they'll get a nice little week to kind of settle on that. Probably out there catching some passes with the quarterbacks at practice. Another curl route there for the Thunderbirds. Able to get another couple of yards on the play. As the third quarter is flown by, 4:30 left to go. Mustangs 7 points away from tying their score from last week's game. Bringing the heat here. Dalen Nixon definitely got hold of that play. What a play by Demarion Thomas. Getting the one-handed PBU on the play. And receiver down the field for the Thunderbirds. Penalty's going to be declined. 4th and 6. Clock stops at 4 minutes. As the punt team runs out there for the Thunderbirds. Mustangs looking to chew a little bit of clock, not putting a return man back there. High snap. Punt goes up. There's a flag on the play. And that ball's going to roll backwards and then forwards and stop around the 40-yard line. So pre-snap penalty there on the Thunderbirds. Get 4th down and 11 after the delay of game. Punt goes up. Now back there for the Mustangs. So it's going to let this clock kind of roll out before it gets downed at the 29-yard line where the Mustangs will take over. Up 33-0. And new running back out there, Jordan Steele. Taking over for D. Barnes, probably done for the day. As Jordan Steele getting a little shifty in the backfield. Gonna get about a yard on the play, but a little bit of play afterwards. Penalty more than likely will be on the Thunderbirds. It's going to be a 1st down for the Mustangs. Personal foul. Actually going to call that on Gabe Lewis. Oh, never mind. It's going to be combating penalties. That's what we're going to offset. So we're going to replay 1st down. So replaying the down here for the Mustangs after the personal foul offset. And DeAndre Washington keeps it this time. 3rd and 10 here for the Mustangs. Trying to kill what little clock is left. Fumbled snap. The 4th down as the Mustangs set out the punt team. 2:30 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Punt gets down by Brian Daniels, so the Thunderbirds going to take over on the, trying to get a yard line here, but a lot of people on the field. Like I said, the 50-yard line exactly. First and 10 for the Thunderbirds. Quick pass yet again. And Landon Woodruff there to make the tackle after only a gain of 1 on the play. Second down to 9, 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter. Rollout play. And a few Mustangs there for the sack, but I think you can give more credit to that to A.J. Allen. Again, what could very well be his first sack of his career. Third and long. Halfback draw play. And that ball goes nowhere. 4th down. And that's going to end it there for the 3rd quarter. So we'll be right back here for 4th quarter Mustang football. Stanhope Elmore up 33-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Stanhope Elmore Sports Network. And the Thunderbirds punt the ball away. No return man back there for the Mustangs. Just kind of let that clock run out. Mustangs trying to hold true to their 33-point lead here in the fourth quarter. First and 10 here for the Mustangs on the 6-yard line. Bad snap. Dodger Washington able to pick it up. And a good heads-up play there. Still a loss on the play, but not a safety. right, we're back up some technical difficulties. Thunderbirds have been driving. And that's going to be a catch, but that's also a penalty on the play. First and goal here for the Thunderbirds. And their power set, power I. Handoff play. And fumble on the play. A lot of fingers pointing towards the Mustangs. And that's a Mustangs fumble recovery. Tries to come up with the ball, and that's Caleb Wooden-Purnell, K3. Getting the fumble recovery on the play, keeping the shutout alive here for the Mustangs. So what a play by the Mustangs defense, keeping the shutout alive. As the Mustangs run out trying to figure out who that is at quarterback. That's going to be a direct snap to Ja'Cory Thompson. And a good run on the play by the junior. Second and short. Another direct snap to Ja'Cory. Able to keep his feet. But the Thunderbirds there to make it 3rd down and 5. And a timeout on the play. Set the clock at 4:25 left to go in the game. Mustangs up 33-0. Third down. No direct snap to Ja'Cory Thompson. Trying to just kill clock. I mean, he's going to be brought down for a 4th down. Dead ball foul gives the Mustangs the first down as the clock gets under 4 minutes. Another Ja'Cory Thompson run. And that junior is running hard. Second down and short. A big run there. Ja'Cory Thompson having himself a fourth quarter. Penalty on the Mustangs, pushes it back after the big run by Ja'Cory Thompson. Clock stops at 2:57. Another Ja'Cory Thompson run. And from my point of view, able to get the first down. Clock now at 2:34. Another run by Ja'Cory Thompson. Another tough run. And that clock is just ticking away as we get to the 2-minute mark left to go in this ball game. A direct snap there to Ja'Cory Thompson. Still able to find a way to get some yards. We got to the 1.5-minute mark here in this game. Another one from Ja'Cory Thompson. Be under the minute mark, 50 seconds left to go in the nice ball game. And yet again, Mustangs able to pitch another shutout here at 17 Springs, outscoring their opponent 73-0 over the past few games. And that's going to be the game. Mustangs take a 2-0 record going into region play. Mustangs have a bye week before we're back here for homecoming versus Smith Station. You've been listening to the Stanhope Elmore Sports Network.